So the Netflix Witcher is hated by many longtime fans. Yeah. So if you do not know, Netflix made a Witcher show. The first season was very, very well received by fans, but it seems that Netflix decided to pull the old switcheroo, basically trying to garner fan support in the first entry, leading to record viewership. Happens every single time with Netflix. But it seems once Netflix established itself, it's kind of like it's kind of like the Alien from Alien movie. Okay, they find an IP, they make it almost identical to the source material in the first season, and then they and then they ruin it in the second season and third season. Yes, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. This is a typical Netflix tactic that they love to do. Netflix, all does this type of stuff. Like, this is why people don't like Netflix. This is why people hate Netflix. They're a hated company. Not as hated as Disney. Disney does the same exact thing, though. Okay, but they actually buy IPs too, and then they ruin them as well. But they're claiming that instead of addressing the backlash like a normal way, saying, hey, maybe we should actually respect the fans and respect the source material that is given to us. Netflix says, but the books and games still exist. But we want to make it our version. We want to make it our Netflix version. No one's taking them away. They still exist. Okay, but that's not the point. People want an adaptation that respects the source material. That's why the Sonic movies are so well loved. That's why the Mario movie is so well loved amongst the Mario fanbase. Heck, even the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, despite being hated by movie critics, is well beloved by the fan base of Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay, you have to make these people happy, or else you're gonna have nobody, because you can have the general boy audiences, but most general audiences, may not like the show. They may not find the Witcher interesting. They may like something else, like Wednesday or Squid Game. Okay, or they may just watch The Office. I think that The Office is on Netflix as well. Okay, if you don't have the general audiences, you gotta have to rely on these people who are basically Superman as a series. Okay, kind of like if they made I love Mario, I love Pokemon, I love Pikmin. If they made a bad Mario movie, I'm not gonna support it. If it's disrespectful to the Mario source material, if it's disrespectful to the Mario universe, I'm not gonna support it. But the Mario movie, guess what? That is 100% very much true to the Mario games. Same thing with the Sonic movies. Okay, if the Sonic movies was originally as it was planned, I was not gonna go see it. I was not gonna go spend money on the movie, because I'm not gonna support a movie like that disrespects Sonic as the source material. Even if they have Jim Carrey as Dr. Eggman, if they did not change Sonic to actually look like Sonic and not look like a monster, well, I wasn't gonna see the movie. I was not gonna watch the movie. I was not gonna spend money. I would probably have eventually watched the movie, but I was not gonna spend my hard-earned money on the Sonic movie if it was like that. Okay, it's that simple. Okay, I was not gonna spend my money on a movie like that. Okay, and I just don't understand why they can't understand. Netflix can't understand that people don't want their favorite IPs to basically be ruined. But Hollywood has done this for like 30 years. Okay, you have the Death Note movie, the movie that was so bad. Dragon Ball Evolution. Heck, even back of the Mario 90s Mario movie as well. Okay, as well here. I know some people do not like the Mario movie. They have like the nitpicks of the Mario movie, but like the so-called Pizza's a go boss, like that's mostly just SOGs and stupid fandom menace people talking. No, that's only those types of people who are angry that claim that Pizza's a go boss in the Mario movie. People like no room for wokeness, those types of people. Okay, but it's just so sad that Netflix could have had one of the biggest shows of all time, The Witcher. Considering the fact that the games did so well and broke records, you know, as well. But it seems that the Witcher movies are still hated amongst the fans. Yeah. So they're saying that the fans of the books and the games shouldn't watch it at all. Yeah. It's kind of like if Netflix made a Mario TV series. I don't think Nintendo would allow Netflix to do what they did to what they did to The Witcher. But um, and then they said, oh, if you're a fan of the Mario games, don't watch our movie, don't watch our TV series. We made Mario. We ruined Mario. We ruined Mario's image. Okay, but if you like the Mario games, please don't watch our show. Okay, it's for the modern audience. Yeah, this is just so annoying. Okay, it's never like Ghost of Yotei where the game is being hated because the girl doesn't have a giant pair of titties, but the Witcher show is straight up being it's kind of like Dragon Ball Evolution. Okay, it is straight up being disrespectful to the source material, and they just don't seem to care. Okay, this is basically like Dragon Ball Evolution. It's like Dragon Ball Evolution. Okay, Dragon Ball Evolution is straight up disrespectful to the source material. So much so, the creator of Dragon Ball had to basically bring back Dragon Ball as an IP to prove, hey, you disrespected the source material. Now let's bring back Dragon Ball. Okay, so Dragon Ball Evolution at the very end was a good thing for Dragon Ball because we would have had, stuff like Battle of Gods, Revival of F and Super and the Super manga, obviously, but Dragon Ball Evolution was just, a giant crap on the series. Same thing with like the Death Note anime. No, not anime. The Death Note movie as well. It was like a massive, like, pile of shit. And, Hollywood and Netflix just doesn't seem to care, okay? As well, okay? And, Hollywood has learned the wrong lessons from the Sonic movie. Instead of, saying, hey, you know what? The fans are always right. And there's always this thing. The customer is always right most of the time, obviously. Because there's sometimes, where people boycott games over not having a giant pair of titties is, I think, a genuine brainwash thing that people have. And yeah, that's what this video here. Goodbye.